Hey everybody, this is PJ Riley from Lancaster Archery. We are continuing our virtual ATA product reviews, and we have a little different setup for this one. We've got Dave Bakken from Ravin Crossbows. And Dave, it's been minutes ago that you unveiled this new crossbow. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so we're very excited this year. Coming off an interesting year in 2020, we are very excited to launch this new product line of crossbows here at Ravin. As you've probably seen now, we have two new bows that are launching with 4 different models of those. But we have the new Raven R500. First ever bow to hit over 500 feet per second. As we were talking earlier, the way Raven's always done it in the past is that's the actual speed that bow is going to shoot with the arrow that delivers with that bow. We're not about advertising up to any speed.
Right.
We guarantee that your bow is going to deliver shooting 500 feet per second. We also have a lot of updates to how that bow operates with the new VersaDrive cocking system. It's a dual screw drive driven system. So with the manual handle, you can cock and decock that crossbow at any time. There's no release button. There's no need for a cocking strap. You can let go of the handle at any time throughout that process, and the handle stays put. So in addition to that, you can attach our new electric motor. So it will attach right to the R500 and allows you to cock and decock the crossbow just by pushing a button.
Unbelievable. 3.6 inches at full draw. That's unreal.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is the most compact bow that we've ever developed and the most compact bow ever made. You think about our current Ravin lineup prior to this launch is 6 inches axle to axle when it's fully cocked. This bow is just over 7 inches axle to axle when it's uncocked, and then comes back to 3.6 inches axle to axle, something that's never been seen before.
Now let's talk about
little things that everyone's gonna, see on this bow. Just the string angle on that as it draws back. That string path and arrow are fully encapsulated inside of the guide riser area there as it's drawn back. So you can't even access the string path in the arrow after it's fully drawn.
What's the overall length of this bow from butt to the front?
This bow is 28 inches overall length.
And now that VersaDrive system, I want to talk about that. It's got dual screws. So if I'm manually cranking that, I'm putting the crank in back at the buttstock like normal, and I'm turning it. And these screws are what's bringing the string back. And like you said, I could stop cocking at any time, and the handle's not going to whip around. It's just going to stay in place.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, there isn't even a release button or cocking strap on this bow. It's totally gear driven. We still have the clutch built into the system, so you can't overcock this crossbow. So once you hit the back wall, that clutch will engage inside the bow, letting you know that it's fully drawn back.
So then, I'm done hunting. Now I want to let down my bow. I don't have to shoot it. How do I decock it from the fully cocked position?
You would just remove the arrow, insert the draw handle, and unwind it.
No buttons, no release, nothing.
No buttons, no release, no nothing. It all runs on that dual screw system in there. So you just insert the handle and let it down.
That's insane. Now the electronic system. So that's an aftermarket add-on, or how do you integrate that?
So we do have models that are sold as a package with the electric motor included, but it is for sale separate as well if you want to add to the standard 500 down the road. So we'll have the R500 that comes with the manual cocking handle, the R500E, which is the electric drive system, but still comes with the manual handle. That electric motor can be overridden at any time with the manual handle if your battery were to die or anything like that. So it's pretty foolproof. And then we have both of those available in our sniper packages with a pretty cool upgraded turret-driven scope. So instead of using the jack plate elevation mount, you now have your 20 through 100-yard adjustments built into the scope, just like a high-end rifle scope. Simple, just one turn of the turret will go from 20 to 100 yards.
No, well, I guess 500 feet per second range, that probably helps you with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. And just from inside 50 yards, your drop on that arrow is very minimal at the speeds we're seeing. So you essentially can almost use one reticle out to 50 yards.
That's
but it's
incredible.
The kinetic energy off this bow, the power stored in this bow is unbelievable. With that arrow that ships with the bow, we're shooting at about 222 foot-pounds of kinetic energy. So
wow.
Those are numbers that have never been seen before, never been touched before in the archery industry.
Yeah. And so what length bolt are you shooting? What length arrow do you shoot with these bows?
It's still our standard 20-inch, 400 grain Raven arrow.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
Man, I mean, this has to, even you guys have to be impressed by this, that you keep elevating, every year you're like, okay, we maxed out. Now this thing comes out.
It's fun to be a part of, I can tell you that. I mean, you do kind of have to pinch yourself every once in a while and realize just, what we're doing here. The innovation that we are pushing, doing things that have never been seen, and probably, most people wouldn't even think would be possible. But, we continue to drive the innovation, and we're not just going to, stand by and accept, what we already have. We're going to keep trying to drive that market and drive those innovations.
Unbelievable. Okay, so Dave, this bow, we mentioned the length, we mentioned the width. What did you say the width is when it is uncocked?
It's just over 7 inches. I believe it's 7.6 inches. So it's about 1.5 inches wider than our current Ravens when they're fully cocked. So it's the most compact bow ever made.
Yeah. And the weight, what is the weight of this? I know it varies depending on what you have on it, but what's average weight of this bow?
So your standard bow is going to be about 8 pounds. When you put the motor on, it's going to be almost 10 pounds. I believe it's 9.9 pounds. But that motor can be detached. So if you want to utilize it to cock back the crossbow, you can then detach the motor and store it away and lose that weight.
Gotcha. Wow. All right, Dave, incredible new bow here from Raven, the R500. We certainly appreciate you taking time to share us this incredible information and this awesome bow.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate the time. We're very excited to be able to launch a product like this, and thank you guys again.
All right, folks, that's another video from our virtual ATA 2021 show. Stay tuned. We got plenty more coming.